Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and today we're going to talk more about some of the latest developments between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp and the defamation trial. So, as we've been talking, Johnny Depp, he's filed a defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard after she wrote a Washington Post Me Too op-ed. I believe she didn't mention him directly, but she implied that Johnny Depp was a domestic abuser. And then so as a result of that, he ended up losing the Pirates of the Caribbean, was a Fantastic Beasts franchise, I think it was.
I think so.
And so he lost jobs that he would have earned tens of millions of dollars from. And so he's sued her. I guess this is his second lawsuit because he tried to sue her in Europe and he lost that. But this one is going through. And so he sued for $50 million. She countersued for $100 million, claiming he was defaming her. And so in the trial, Depp claims his substance abuse was worsened by her harassment of him. And so audio and video has come out that shows that a different side of the story, because we saw the original video that came out a couple of years ago showed Johnny Depp he's drunk. They were having some kind of argument. He's slamming cabinet doors and glass and things are breaking. And so she released that around the same time that this post came out. And then so this was like in the height of the Me Too stuff. And so he ends up losing these big jobs. And now you got testimony happen. I know, Chunky, you've been watching a lot of the trial.
Yeah.
And so, like, what have you seen so far from the trial that you've noticed?
One of the interesting things I've seen, especially if people seen like the psychologist's analysis, Dr. Curry's, of Amber Heard and like the characteristics that she acts out, where she like kind of copies people or kind of acts out in like sudden bursts of emotion, then it's kind of like cold, emotionless. She's been doing that the whole trial, especially when they do like, I love the camera they have set up, whereas like Amber Heard here and then Johnny Depp here, so you see their reactions to both things being said during like the depositions. And honestly, I've not been enjoying Heard's defense lawyers and their whole tactic and how they're approaching things. I really don't like how they're treating a lot of the witnesses on the stand. They're very just interruptive. They'll ask very deceitful questions, and it just phrase it in a way where they only get this one thing, and the people are like, yes, but the way you're phrasing is not exactly like this. And as soon as they say anything, they just cut them off. They don't want the witness to really talk. Or the hearsay, yes. They just object. Or like objection on foundational questions. Mm-hmm. I really think the judge needs to take more control of that, which I don't think the judge is doing a great job of being a judge in that courtroom.
I'm curious about, as you're watching them and you see their personalities, if you were to evaluate their personalities, are they like, is one more even than the other and one more, highs and lows, or what do you see?
I think, it's one interesting thing to watch is when they're actually first getting there, like when they're arriving at the courthouse in the morning.
Johnny Depp is like blasting music.
Yeah, he's all happy, waving at the people, everything. He's doing great. And then Amber Heard just like straight face walks in, like just zooms in.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody says anything, like
straight to business.
Yeah. Definitely different dynamics. But personality wise, Amber Heard's definitely way more domineering and controlling. And Depp is very passive and friendly and nice. I think that's why she kind of took advantage of the situation.
He's soft. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Or what if it's a strategy?
He never set and enforced any healthy boundaries. He let her walk all over him for
What
years.
if it's a strategy for him, like, to appeal to the audience?
No, he's just like that in general. That's why most of this happened, I believe. I think that's just personality type in general. Mm-hmm. It's not just for the case.
Yeah.
He just seems like a genuinely nice guy. Obviously, he likes to party, but it's like you can listen to some of those audio recordings and stuff from her, and it's like she's needling him. And the thing she's saying to him is she's challenging his masculinity. She wants him to, she's begging for him, or the women that she dates for that matter, somebody to stand up and be masculine enough to put her in her place and not put up with her bullshit. And if she gets out of line, you leave. And when you get that far down the road and somebody is just, like the video Can we play that one right now?
I was hitting you. How? What am I supposed to do? Do this? I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
She talks to him like a child.
Yeah.
She's hammered there.
Oh, is she?
She really
Yes.
sounds
But still, she just has an absolute fucking contempt for him.
You listen to some of her pronunciation. She's hammered.
Do we know that for a fact that she was drunk?
No, I think that's just her personality
Yeah, she's just a
to
bitch.
belittle him as a person.
You are such a baby. Grow the fuck up, Johnny. I did start a physical fight.
You did, so I had
Because-
to get the fuck out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You are admirable.
Yeah, so listening to those recordings, you can tell she doesn't respect him at all. And she's just kicking him in the nuts, and he's just sitting there taking it. It's like kicking a dog, and the dog just sits there and takes it. Instead of just leaving. He should have left a long time ago and put her in her place. And I mean, at this point, he's enabling her behavior because he sticks around. Whatever you tolerate, you invite more of. No one will ever do or say anything to you that isn't a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves in a moment. And also, no one will ever do or say anything to you that you don't invite them to do. And so by sticking around, that's fucking kidding. So we're looking at this.
I can't with this picture.
I forgot I had this on screen. So if you ever saw the movie The Hurt Locker, there was I can't remember who did this particular meme. It was something I saw on Twitter. It was like Leto II, the Duke, LETOLLTHEDUKE on Twitter. I think it was one of their memes. But they took the movie poster from The Hurt Locker and they got Amber Heard's face there, and you got Johnny Depp as the bomb maker running away from the explosion, and the turd obviously represents the turd on the bed.
That audio we listened to, I'll tell you what, to me, if you listen to the pronunciation, I'm going to say she's definitely drinking, which to me makes her, everything she said, more honest. Meaning she's just blabbing away.
Or she's having a breakdown.
Well, she's having a breakdown,
both.
probably under the influence. That's my guess, my take. I could be wrong.
No,
But
same. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just listening to her talk, to her voice, that's a woman that's talking to a man she has zero fucking respect for. Because he's just like, you're a baby. She's basically saying you're a wimp. You're not standing up to me. And you're putting up with it. And that's part of her problem, because she dates men and women, and she's looking for somebody to stand up to her and put her in her place. But it's also possible, I'm not a psychologist, she might be a total fucking lunatic and be bipolar or have some kind of emotional problems. But at the end of the day, if she had a healthy self-esteem and she wasn't happy, she would have left him a long time ago as well. And so she's abusing him and he's tolerating it. And so the more he tolerates it, the more he invites it.
I hear that. I don't think she's actually putting it out there, asking for that, manliness. But the more she does it and doesn't get the manliness, the more she's able to do it. It's kind of like feeding it. It's allowing her to continuing on because she has nothing to lose. He's just
weakness always invites aggression.
He's putting up with it. He's allowing it to grow. Where if you stop that up front, and she realized, hey, I stand to lose, everything I have here, then maybe she would reevaluate the next time she feels like unleashing.
Yeah, because you didn't see that kind of interaction when she was with Elon. It was pretty kind of quiet and a down low. He was kind of like James Bond with that. But he did say after they split up that it was more her. In other words, I think Elon's problem, he's just too nice. And so it's hard to be pissed off at somebody that's nice and kind, but at the end of the day, she didn't stay with him. She dumped him.
She likes the easy targets. And once they finally dominate her, I feel like she feeds off that energy and it gets worse until you both keep clashing. I feel like she's probably into that kind of stuff.
She likes the drama.
Yeah, she's a weirdo.
Yeah, but even if she broke up with Elon Musk, I mean, the fact that he said that it was more her, that's kind of sus.
It's funny because as you
Well,
say,
I see that it's just his body language. He wanted, in other words, what I got from the tone of his voice, because I listen to guys all the time that are in that place and have gotten dumped. He wanted to stay with her. He wanted to keep dating and seeing her, and she did. She wanted to move on for whatever the reason happened to be. She didn't want to stay with him. And women don't dump men that they're in love with. I'd say that's part of Elon's problem. He's just too much of a nice guy. So is Johnny Depp. Nice to the point where he puts up with that kind of abuse. That wasn't the first time she talked to him that way. That had been going on a long time. You could say, well, maybe it was alcohol, but at the end of the day, she got away for years with talking to him and treating him that way.
he argued back though.
Yep.
Now, contrast that with Elon. Are you saying that he was such a nice guy that he didn't fight back, so therefore it wasn't as pleasurable for her to unleash?
I wouldn't say Elon's going to talk to somebody like that or, get in those kind of arguments. He's got Asperger's. He's going to want to just resolve things.
Also, he just wouldn't want to waste time with someone who doesn't want to change or anything. Maybe.
Well,
I'm just looking at the body language and the tone of his voice when he was asked about it by somebody in the media, and that was his response. That it was more. We kind of agreed to go our separate ways, but it was really because he's super honest. He's just like, it was more her, but she was the one that wanted to go their separate ways. Yeah. And he sounded like he would have liked to continue dating her. Because you understand, a lot of dudes I'm talking to are in that situation. That's why they're calling me because they're like, "What the fuck?"
But
happened?
he probably just accepted it at that point. He didn't want to bother.
Or
maybe.
he believed that she would improve over time and get better.
Yeah.
I think that too, yeah.
He probably was super easy with her, understanding and like
He's trying to fix
communicated.
her.
And she was like, you know what? This is way too easy. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the one who should do all the fixing is her. Like, you can only do so much in a relationship. You know?
But his sticking around and putting up with it helped or contributed to her becoming a tyrant. She was naturally inclined to do that because he was too soft. He was like a doormat. I mean, you heard that. That's pretty abusive what she was saying to him. But he stuck around too long. He was a lingerer. He lingered in the relationship too long. So here's another interesting thing. Some of Johnny Depp's ex-girlfriends, Winona Ryder, Nicole Kidman, his ex-wife, his kids, all insist Amber is lying. So that's a lot of people that are close to him that obviously spent a lot of time around them. And the feel that I get just in listening to people talk and what they tweet about it is that the trial doesn't seem to be going too well for Amber. It seems to be going in Johnny Depp's favor. And if it comes out he's vindicated, and so far from what I've personally seen, I don't know what you guys think, but I mean, Disney should be hiring him back. They should be doing another Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and the other movies, they should apologize to him and give him an even bigger contract. And by the way, when they do the Pirates of the Caribbean, I want everybody else back that was in the original. What was her name? Keira Knightley.
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom. Who else was in it? They should have everybody back, even Keith Richards. Hopefully, they might be wheeling him around in a wheelchair at that point. But it's like that would be the right thing. Just like what Disney did with Gina Carano, who got unjustly fired from the TV series The Mandalorian because of Kathleen Kennedy, because she didn't like Gina Carano's politics. And after, what's his name? The guy did that movie in the 90s. Remember which one I'm talking about? With
what movie was it?
90s
well, it was the one where he was just a fucking wimp, and he was calling this girl and chasing after her, and she was dead blowing him off. And it was with Vince Vaughn. So the movie Swingers, that part where he's calling this girl, and Vince Vaughn is just like, "Come on, bro, have some respect." And so this guy, what's the guy's name? Jon Favreau plays this character who's just an absolute bitch in this movie Swingers. He's just a fucking bitch with women. And it's the same body language, the same physiology, and not to the degree that Johnny Depp was demonstrating, but you get that same kind of vibe. Johnny Depp's he's too much of a fucking nice guy. And so he put up with it. He creates a tyrant. And then so back to the Gina Carano thing is that Jon Favreau and it was Bob Chapek, who's also a fucking beta male. Neither one of them stood up for Gina Carano for, to Kathleen Kennedy. And Kathleen Kennedy ran her out of there. And then after all the facts came out after the fact, they went and have since rehired Gina Carano. But that's what happens when you have fucking weak men, these bitch ass men that allow stuff to happen and they don't step in. And to their credit, these guys, Bob Chapek and Jon Favreau, did hire Gina back after all that stuff happened. But anyways, it's, I feel bad for Johnny Depp. He seems like a nice guy and a good dude. And I haven't heard any of the other things. Maybe you said he put hands on her. Was somebody saying that?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about
Sounds
that.
to me.
So I haven't heard any.
I haven't heard any of that.
I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen any evidence. All I saw was a video of him, throwing the wine bottle around. So it looks. You look back on it, it definitely seems like there's a case there that, she caused him harm that he lost these big movies. But like I said, him being vindicated, Disney should call him up and say, let's make those movies after all.
I think
guys think?
it's Dior. Dior is the only one that's stuck with him. The perfume. Cologne.
I did not know. So he lost all his sponsorships too.
No, they stuck with him. They never gave up his contract.
Well, he lost his movie deals and he had other, I think, merchandising things, right?
Mhm.
And so some of it, the merchandising things, he lost those contracts too.
Yeah.
When she
Except
came out
for
Except for Dior. And now Dior is going up because people who support Johnny Depp are buying Dior Sauvage now. Yeah.
Look at that. They picked the winning horse apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can watch the videos. I think I assume you guys agree that she looks bad and he looks like he got fucked over unjustly.
Yeah, like even though
She also looks drained during like the court hearing. I don't know.
And I think it's easier to make a man look bad. And, you see the physical abuse. Look how he physically abused this cabinet. You see how physically abused, and a lot of people could jump on board and agree with that. But, I don't know how true this is. Johnny's ex-girlfriends and family insist Amber is lying. If that's true, an ex-girlfriend, there's probably some, kind of,
Some bias.
but if I'm going to stand up for him, there's got to be some truth to
His
that.
kids never liked her either. So when you get that many people, it's like when you got exes stepping in and going, "Hey, Johnny's a good dude." That didn't happen.
Are there any pets involved? Dogs always tell the truth. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, they start barking at them.
But it bodes well for him. Winona Ryder, Nicole Kidman, who's happily married.
That's why it's
His
also,
ex-wife. I mean, when you got all your exes, like, still give you the thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's why it's also important to also hear the other side of the story as well, because like you did mention, Mike, a lot of men tend to be easy targets when it comes to abuse, but nobody ever thinks that maybe the man gets abused.
You gotta believe all women, right? Wasn't that what was in the news? Believe all women first. Just like with the Kavanaugh things, the Supreme Court, they believe all women. That chick was full of shit. The one that had the dirty glasses, I forget her name, said she was sexually assaulted by him in college during his confirmation. You guys remember that?
No, I don't.
But we're kind of made for, war. We're made for battle. And I think we're more likely to, express aggression. It doesn't mean that we're going to take it out on women, but, we might hit a punching bag or put a hole in a wall, because we lose a little bit of control. When he says, I have never hit a woman, I kind of believe him, but I don't know. I can't make that judgment. I don't really know him.
What's his definition? What's his definition of hitting? Because Amber was like, I didn't punch you. I hit you. So what is Johnny's version of I never hit you?
I know what my version would be.
Like,
Well, hitting. Well, he's saying you punched me, so it's like, you're trying to harm someone when you're punching them, but you're hitting. It could be a slap. It could be something playful.
I think a punch could be.
She's trying to minimize.
I don't think we're talking about playful. I think that's the key word. Anything outside of that is hitting.
Yeah.
But either or, energetically, vibrationally, he is being too soft and too nice. She knows she's out of line. On some level, she knows she's out of line. Her behavior's out of line. But she's still probing at him, trying to get him to stand up to her. And he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and
He was too soft, and he kept sticking around.
well, I can be confident how this is going to play out. Meaning, as indecisive as we are, and Chunky, you watched plenty of this unfold on TV, right?
Yeah.
Being that this is a civil trial and it's based on a preponderance of evidence, we're not seeing a preponderance of evidence that he has abused her. So
Yeah, I think it's important to look at what the trial is actually being sued, because everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna win. Oh, look, she's the abusive one." That doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as much, because the trial is all about defamation, so it's all about proving that. That's the biggest
Well,
thing.
he definitely lost the roles, so that's those Pirates of the Caribbean. That was $1 billion franchise.
Yeah.
He probably had, over the course of all those movies, it made hundreds of millions of dollars, I would think. So that was a big payday to lose that, and then have your reputation ruined where you can't get work anymore.
no, this is a disgrace. I mean,
And he spends money like water. That's one of the things that some of his accountant and other people have talked. It's all kind of come out last few years. Is they're all been like, dude, you spend too much money.
yeah, didn't he do redo Willy Wonka? Wasn't he the main character?
Yeah,
But
which was great.
Oh,
the only
yeah.
good thing that's going to come out of this is that disgraceful movie. We're going to forget about it because we're going to remember him for this trial.
You
on
like the
TV.
Gene Wilder version? better?
Oh, are you kidding me?
I like
Gene
Willy Wonka
Wilder
better.
was.
I mean, I like the second version better.
Yeah.
You like Johnny Depp's?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
but then
a Johnny Depp
again,
fan?
Yeah.
but then again, we grew up with that version
Yeah.
of the movie. I've seen the Gene Wilder one.
I think they're both great.
but-
I thought the
Mhm.
Johnny Depp one was great. It was-
Oh, I love Johnny Depp's movies until that, and I said, "Oh, why'd you do this one?"
Edward Scissorhands was really good as
I
well.
like that one. Yeah,
That's my favorite Christmas movie.
But he's always kind of played that guy that's a little too nice. That's part of his character flaw, and he gets taken advantage of. He owns that, and like even the Jack Sparrow guy, he's a pirate, but at the end of the day, he's kind of a softie and kind of a little too nice and a little naive when people are plotting against him, and
You
so
have
that he
to
owns
have,
that vibe, and so you can kind of see he literally owns that. He
Mhm.
lives that. That's kind of how he is as a man. He's too nice.
I agree with you, and I've always said you have to have some of that in you to be the ultimate actor, and carry it out on film. So I agree.
Every one of those characters, you think about it, always had some
Alice
kind
in
of
Wonderland as
Yeah.
well. He was very innocent.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Mad Hatter. He made amazing movies.